As you may be aware, I've made a playlist called Tips for New Riders, which is basically a playlist to help people get onto a motorcycle. It covers everything from, like, licenses to how to ride a bike, how to do the different tests, explanations of basically everything you need to know. And it's got hundreds of people through their CBTs and things like that. But there's this one question that keeps getting asked, and I give people a video, because I've got a video on engine braking, and go, here you go, and it doesn't seem to help all the time, and it's to do with changing gears. I have made a how to ride a motorcycle video, in which downshifting would have been covered, and I have made a video explaining engine braking, in which case downshifting would have been covered, but there's still questions being asked, so I'm just going to cover gears one more time. Oh, the important things you need to know: clutch, throttle, your gear shifter is down here, all the way down to the bottom is first, half a click up to neutral, all the way through that gives you second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and the same back down. So if you're stopping, you go all the way down to first, and then you click up to neutral. Okay, so I've worn one today. Okay, so very simply, the problem people are having is they're downshifting too early and too aggressively and not smoothly enough, and getting engine braking, quite savage engine braking at that. Let's see if I can demonstrate what that would be like. Okay, so like this, the downshift. You see, you're getting that jerk. Basically, what you need to try and do is get your revs the same as you come down, see? Like when you're accelerating along, you can tell when the engine should change gear. It's natural sounding. Right, well, there's the same thing happens in reverse. When you're hearing the engine on the overrun, that is throttle closed and you just rolling. When you hear the noises, you'll know what to do. I think for the reason that people can hear when the engine needs to change up, people don't have such a problem changing up gear. Throttle's on and you just throttle off, clutch on, up a gear. Like that. Nice and simple. However, slowing down, people don't seem to pick it up so easily. You see, I'm going down through the box here, and you're not noticing any jerking or anything. That's because I'm getting the revs before the change the same as what they're going to be after the change. Just remember this, that say you're doing 30 miles an hour in third, and it's using 3,000 RPM, say, if you put it into second, it's probably going to end up doing like 5,000 RPM. It's going to go up because it has to, turn faster to get the same amount of speed out of it. Like on a push bike. Obviously on a push bike you can feel when it's too hard or too easy, and you change it, for your legs, but with a bike you just have to listen to the engine. The engine is the legs of the bike, and they'll tell you when it wants to change down. Off the throttle, clutch in, down a gear, feather the clutch out. The gentler you feather that clutch out, the smoother the transition will be. If you just dump it, it's going to jerk. Before I talk about a little trick with downshifting, let me just reiterate the point of changing gear on a bike again quickly. So the normal downshift would be throttle off, clutch in, down a gear, and slowly feather that back out. See, that's what's going to smooth out your transition, but don't abuse it. You don't want to be holding the clutch half and half out for ages, but it can help you make that a smoother transition. Sorry, you noticed I did the trick then. It's so ingrained into me I can't not do it. It's called the Blip, and this is also Puncture Road. I'm not going down that one. That's the one I actually do get the punctures on every time, because I always end up round that corner and then on that road. So we're going to go another way. So, smoothness is the key. You shouldn't try and blip shift to make your shift smoother if you can't smoothly shift. You want to be able to do that anyway. That's a basic skill to learn. Blip shifting is like the next thing. So, you're riding along and you want to change down gear. You basically let the throttle off, pull the clutch in, and you blip the throttle at the same time that you're changing gear. It's kind of like three things at once, but you can hear what I'm doing. Just a second, I'm going to have to start downshifting. I'm going to do the first downshift without blip shifting, and then blip shifting after that, and you can hear the difference. So, okay, so standard downshift. Now with a blip. Sky brake. They're struggling with the speed limit a little bit to up, it would seem. Alright mate, I'll have a take you in just a second. Right. So now you know the basics. You can hear when I'm downshifting, you can hear when I'm blip shifting, you can hear when I'm doing whatever I'm doing. I'm now going to go through a set of corners, and you just listen to how I use the engine, how I vary the clutch, how I use that to brake into corners at times. This is basic riding. Basic riding. Okay, so we're going to blip. Heavier gear, downshift there. Okay, so we're going up through the gears. Okay, now I need to slow down a little bit of brake. Down the gear, as you see, feather the clutch through. Got to be careful in here because people come on the wrong side of the line. Then I'm braking a little bit again, but again, a blip, that, smooth that out. Keeping it legal. Right, now for this one I want to just slow down a little bit. I don't need to change down a gear, so I'm just let off the throttle. That allows a little bit of engine braking. And actually most of this you can do in one gear, but I've got a cyclist here, so see, I'm using that to help slow me down. There was no jerkiness. It's just practice. That's the key to this. A lot of people get very frustrated, like it's something they're not getting. It's not that you're not getting it, you just don't have the muscle memory, you just haven't learned how to do it yet. And in time, you'll get smoother and smoother. You may notice that generally I'm just letting off the throttle to slow down. I'm not using the brakes, and the only time I'm using the brakes is at the same time I'm downshifting. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm being a little bit aggressive basically, and that's the way I like to ride, is I'm braking into the corner, and then instead of braking with a rear brake, I'm using the engine braking to help bring it down. It means you don't skid or anything like that. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and not blip while I'm downshifting for a bit. This is going to be really weird for me. See, it completely changes the style. You have to be a lot smoother, a lot slower. Ah, blip! Damn it! I will mention, because someone will say this, you'll notice I ride with my hand over my clutch, sometimes my hand over my front brake as well. These are things you will be taught not to do. This is because new riders panic. I'm not going to panic and grab my clutch or something like that on my brake. It's just comfier for me. I have a problem with my hand as well, which means that it's just more comfy to ride this way. Did I blip through all of the downshifts then? I think I did. God damn it. This is what I mean. You don't think about these things. You don't think about how to ride a bike. I don't think how I'm going to get through this corner. The only thing I tend to think about is the line and what might be there. The actual getting the bike around that corner from that point onwards is kind of automatic. My brain just knows how to do it. If it senses I'm too fast, it's going to do something. Actually, this is a really big side of this I should mention, and I haven't thought about it till now. This is an inline 4 600cc. If you're doing this in a 125 with a single cylinder, or even a 400cc with a single cylinder, say on a DRZ as well, it is much more pronounced, and you really do need to blip those bikes a bit. But even this, you can see how much that just smoothed out that downshift to the point you barely notice it. It's like an auto box. Hello cows. I can't stop for long. My friend! No! I mean, through this bit, you don't even actually have to change gear. This is the wonders of having a larger bike. If you're on a small bike, this is not an option. You are up and down the gears like crazy. I find that if you're trying to fix something or trying to do something, if you learn how it works, then it's much easier to do it. So hopefully I've explained to you well enough for you to understand how this whole sort of downshifting malarkey works, how to use it, how to smooth it out, how to use blips if you so wish. I will warn you, some people will say that blipping is completely unnecessary, you absolutely don't need to do it, and it's just an obnoxious thing to do. I mean, I don't know how they ride, but as you've seen, the smoothest I can ride is when I'm blipping. I can't not do it anymore, because it's a nicer, smoother, better way to ride for me. Whoa, God, that needs to send me sideways. What the hell was that? Get me out of this town. It's like a massive long tree root in the road and it just sort of went down. Anyhow, right. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Check out the playlist. As I say, I've got a video on engine braking and I have a video on how to ride a motorcycle that covers this as well. I'm hoping that this is going to rephrase things or have things said in a different way than I did then, that maybe will spark that, oh, I get it now moment for you. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here, hit the like button, as I say, if you find it useful. If you want to help support this channel, you can do that for as little as $1 a month through Patreon. Links in the description. I massively appreciate it if you did, and to the people that already do. Right, enough waffling. Bye-bye. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to see future videos. This channel is made possible by the support of the audience. Please consider joining my Patreon to get early access to videos, questions answered in the monthly Q&A, your name on screen, and some exclusive content, all for as little as $1 a month. You can also check out the links in the description to my merch and other ways to directly support the channel. Thanks for watching.